Triumph Street Twin is the first model to emerge from a totally revamped and newly categorised family of models wearing the iconic Bonneville badge. It combines British charm with modernity and everyday usability to take on a growing number of retro rivals, including the award-winning Ducati Scrambler.
Motorcycle design is all about stance, and this modern interpretation on the classic Bonneville silhouette looks as good as it ever has. Yes, it's a simple design, but it's the quality of the execution that makes it so appealing. Whether it's the branded Triumph headlight, the cast headlamp bracket, the NGK style plug caps, or the finned exhaust clamps, there are just so many details on this bike that have been carefully considered. My particular favourite has to be how these stainless steel exhausts have been designed to mimic a pair of cut-through pipes, despite the fact that they actually conceal a catalytic converter. What's more, there are hundreds of accessories to choose from to suit your needs, whether you're after heated grips, spoked wheels, luggage sets, or even a high-set exhaust, and none of it impacts the warranty. Is it as cool as a Ducati Scrambler? Well, that's for you lot to decide, so please let us know your thoughts in the comments box below. This water jacket does allude to the big news, a new chassis plus an all-new liquid-cooled 8-valve parallel twin that forms the basic engine architecture for the entire Bonneville family, although on the Street Twin, capacity is 900 cc's and it develops 54 brake horsepower at 5,900 RPM. Now that might not sound very competitive, especially when you look at this thing's curb weight, but the HT or high torque badge on the engine casing is the real saviour here, developing 59 pounds-foot at a lowly 3,200 RPM. Another thing that's very low and slim is the seat, which is going to be great news for shorter riders to help them get both feet flat on the floor. The bars too are quite low set and an arm's length apart, just to give you that nice sporty stance. There's no tachometer, but the rest of the information is heavily detailed, including a timer, 2 trips, a gear position indicator, average fuel consumption, and most impressively, there's a fuel gauge and a predicted fuel range. And it's all controlled via one button on the left switch gear. There's also an under-seat USB port, a lockable fuel filler cap, and even on stock pipes, this thing sounds really, really good. The previous generation Bonneville was a mild-mannered and unintimidating motorcycle, and this Street Twin builds and improves on those characteristics. The fly-by-wire throttle is smooth, the 5-speed gearbox is positive, and the slipper assist clutch actually makes the action finger light. Plus, if you're the sort of person who enjoys a lot of town work, then you're going to really appreciate this engine. It might have less power than the outgoing 865cc unit, but because peak torque kicks in and much lower down the rev range, it actually feels like the grunt is greater. It feels like it's a much more urgent motorcycle, whether you're talking about in-gear acceleration or traffic light getaways. That said, it isn't as agile as a Yamaha XSR 700. The brakes could do with a little bit more stopping bite in them. And if you really enjoy the occasional thrash, then you might find that this torque-rich motor runs out of revs a little bit too quickly. But still, this is a hugely evocative, fun, and confidence-inspiring motorcycle to ride. As short of being on a Ducati Scrambler, I'm not sure any other motorcycle would afford this level of admiration or appreciation. The Street Twin is an easy motorcycle to fall for, thanks to its friendly engine, strong finish, modern detailing, and frugal running costs. It might not be the dynamic benchmark in the retro category, but it's got the style, it's got the badge, and the parts department to not only be a great Sunday plaything, but to be the custom bike of choice for a new generation of urban riders.